Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the 2024 garden vlog. So today we are starting to hopefully get my garden planted for the year. We are currently heading out to Lowe's to pick up some manure and compost for it. And the plan is to get that kind of situated today, finish digging up the plot, and then I'm either planting this weekend or next weekend. We haven't decided yet. Next weekend's already looking really rainy, so I think we're gonna make an attempt to plant today, but we'll see. But yeah, we're heading there right now. I thought I would bring you guys along with us. There was no designated garden video last year. I think I looped it in with the Memorial Day vlog, and the garden last year was like such a fail with all the rain we had. So we're really hoping that this year's an improvement. I'm planting a lot more things this year, or actually no, we're planting about the same amount of things. I've added a couple things new. So I will show you all of that later. I'll show you the plan for the year and everything, and yeah, that's all to come. But for now, welcome, and let's head to Lowe's. So this is where the plot is at this year so far. I've got about 2 feet to go on that side of digging it up. And if you watched one of my previous videos, I think it might have been the Spring Things one, I said how we got a rototiller this year and it is still out of commission. So we didn't get to use it, but we've been, or I should say Brandon's been working on our new roof for the past several weeks, so he just hasn't had time to address it. That's not a big deal. We've been just digging it by hand. There's all my manure and compost, and honestly we may end up having to get more. We bought like 4 bags to start. It's expensive, guys. The price has gone up like crazy since like 2 years ago, so we just got 4 bags to start. 3 of this manure and compost and 1 just compost. I'm gonna keep digging it up and we'll go from there. Alright guys, I was not going to make you watch me dig up that whole plot in real time because it of course took forever. So I thought instead, while I was doing that, I would bring you over to the garden plan for the year. Once again, I made this in Illustrator. It is to scale, so each of these blocks represents a foot, 12 inches, and the plot is 15 by 10. And this is what we're doing this year, guys. So the entire perimeter is going to be sweet alyssum, also known as carpet of snow. It's these little dainty white flowers that are really, really good for your garden. They're going to bring in those pollinators and just, really benefit your plants. And last year I did a little plot in the back of them. They did well. So this year I said, okay, I'm just going to do the entire perimeter and we're going to see how that goes. They're also just really pretty. So I think that'll look nice. In the corners, we are doing 2 different types of flowers. So we have marigolds in these 2 corners. I did these last year. They were beautiful. They did well. And then in the other 2 corners, we have jumbo sunflowers. So again, we're trying to attract the pollinators to the garden. So that is why all of that is there. Then we're going to move into the bottom left. So we've got 4 heads of lettuce that I've planted. These are iceberg lettuce. Last year, these didn't do great. We're crossing our fingers that this year, with less rain, they do better. And I'm probably going to repeat that about 60 times during this whole show and tell, because that was the biggest issue with this garden last year, was the ground was so saturated that everything basically did not go. It did not grow properly. We had very little sun and very heavy moisture all the time. So next door to that, we have our carrots. This is hopefully round 1 of 2. I usually, the first year I did 2 rounds. So I planted first thing in the late spring, and then we did another round midsummer because these grow so quickly. So I did 6 carrot plants here to start. And then beside them, we have 4 pepper plants and 4 onions, both of which have not been successful in the past. So I'm hoping that we do a little better this year. And these are just big bell pepper, by the way, and then these are sweet onion. Then if we're going to go back over here, we've got 3 pea plants. So these are snap peas. They did beautifully last year. I did have to stake them up because they got so tall and crazy, and they just kept producing all season. So once again, this year we're doing them, and I cut down my number of plants because they produced far too much for me to keep up with. Next door to that, we have our tomato. So in the front, we have the 2 beefsteak plants. These have not really done well. The only time I planted them was last year, and I could not really get them to do much. But behind them is the cherry tomato, and I'm only planting one this year because of how well these do in this garden. I normally have way too many at the end of the season. The frost hits, and then a bunch of them get wasted. I just don't even have the time to harvest them all before the frost. So this year we went with just the 1 plant so that we don't get overwhelmed with them. And these 2 I am hoping do better than last year, because I would love some larger tomatoes. I think that would be really nice. Next to them is our new crop of the year, which is the sweet corn. So I am a little ambitious, and I'm going with 12. I'm hoping they do okay. I have not grown corn since I was a little kid, and it was not successful back then. I have doubts with this big time. Corn takes a really long time to grow. I feel like the weather has to be very specific. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just making that up, but I'm hoping that these do well because I think it would be fun to be able to just go out and pick an ear of corn for dinner. We eat corn all the time in the late summer, and the sweet corn in this area is so delicious, and I would like to grow my own. So we're going to see how this goes. If it does well, I'll definitely incorporate more next year. And it'll also be cool to have some corn stalks in the fall to decorate with, because if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, those cost a lot. So let's just grow our own. It's fine. Up above them in the back, we have 5 russet potato plants. The potatoes did beautifully last year. They were Yukon Gold potatoes. The plants were massive, and they each produced probably 5 to 6 potatoes, which was plenty, and I was very happy with it. It was the first time I'd ever done potatoes. So we are doing them again this year. And it's Maine, so of course we have to do potatoes, right? And then finally, off to the side here, we have a arched trellis of cattle fencing, and on either end is going to be a pickling cucumber plant. And I'm hoping to kind of wrap these up the trellis and grow them going upward, because in years past, these haven't done well. And a lot of the issue, I think, is just them getting really heavy, their vines being on the ground. So this year we're trying this to see if that helps any. So that is the garden plan. There are a few things being planted outside the plot, which I'll talk about in the video as we go. But I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown of where things are getting planted, because I don't intend to talk through that as I am doing my planting. I just kind of do it. That would be a lot for me to try to show you this on a patch of dirt. So I think this is a nice visual, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And now let's get back to our planting. Okay, guys, it's so much later. It's 7:30 at night right now. Just got Teddy down to sleep, and we're now both outside working because, the lawnmower is coming. Sorry, it's gonna get loud for a sec. Hang on. This is now prime time. Anytime he's sleeping is a good time to get yard work done. So instead of my usual dishes right now that I'm doing, I am gonna go out and I'm gonna get the compost and manure down in the plot. So I finished digging it up. I'll show you that. I'm gonna get the compost and manure in the plot, raked in, and then we're gonna pick up whenever I end up doing my planting, which will not be today. I've got to put my fencing up still, and then I will do my planting. It's looking like it's gonna hopefully be next weekend, but it's also showing rain right now. So we will see. I will let you know when we come back when it is, how long it's been. But let me show you real quick. I want to show you the roof that we've been working on, or my husband has been slaving away on for the past month, and then we'll go to the garden plot. So one sec. there she be. This is the front side of the roof, and that skylight needs to be trimmed, as does the chimney, and then the rest of the roof is getting trimmed tomorrow. It is a work in progress, guys, but Brandon has done it almost entirely by himself. He's had some help from his dad, and we have a friend coming tomorrow to help as well, but he has been up on that roof all by himself. It's a 45-degree angle. Hang on, let me show you. Oh, ignore that trim that's hanging off and all of this, the shingles. Guys, there's 4 layers of shingles on this roof. That's the original trim you can see under there that eventually we hope to take all the siding off and expose the original clapboard siding and trim, but that's not this year. Anyway, you guys see the pitch of this roof, right? Like, it's insane. And he's been up there harnessed to the roof for like 3 weeks. So I just want to give it to him. I am very impressed and happy with how this is looking so far. It's a bronze color, so it's like a brownish gray depending on the lighting, and we really like it. And it's gonna last like 50 years, so hooray. All right, so I've got it all spread out. As it was a couple years ago, it wasn't quite as much as I really need. I really need to take some of the locals up on their offer. They have cow farms around here and they offer up their manure sometimes, and I really need to do that next year, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. This was about the amount that we did like 2 years ago, and the garden did beautifully. So I'm not super worried. The soil wasn't bad to begin with. But anyway, sorry about that. The weed whacker's going now. So yeah, this is it. This is the plot. It's all level and ready to go for planting. I'm excited, and I will bring you guys back, like I said, when I do that, but yeah. Happy Saturday. It's been about a week. It's been exactly a week, actually. We have had a week. I think we're finally ready to plant the garden today, so that is good. It was originally supposed to rain today, but as of right now, we've got blue skies, so I am going to take full advantage of that. It definitely could end up raining later. We've been having like these half and half days where it's like nice, and then all of a sudden it clouds up and rains. So my goal this morning is to plant while Teddy is down for his morning nap, which we don't know if he'll actually take because we have had ourselves a week. I got sick on Tuesday for the first time in like forever. I thought it was allergies, and then I had like a fever, so I'm pretty sure I was like actually sick. And now I am just dealing with allergies. Like, they will not go away. They are awful, guys, like awful this year. I think from working outside and stuff, it's just made them even worse. Like last year I didn't really do much out in the yard, and this year I've been doing a ton of stuff, you know, actually digging the garden, doing everything like that myself. So I am definitely feeling it this year. The pollen is not my friend. You can probably hear it in my voice. And then on top of that, Teddy decided this week to go into like an 18-month sleep regression and has not been sleeping at all. So that's really good, especially when one is sick and just wants to take like a nap in the middle of the day while he's napping, and he's like, I'm not gonna nap though. So it's too bad for you. And then last night he was up at like midnight and he wanted me to get him up and he wanted to play at like midnight. He was just very confused, I think, as to what time it was. And I was like, buddy, we need to sleep right now. And he was like, no, and just screaming, and it was very stressful. And eventually he did go back to sleep, but we are very tired today. Because once he had gone back to sleep a little bit, I went back to bed and I was trying to get comfortable, and every single time I would like be about to fall asleep, he would wake up and scream for me again. And so that went on for a solid probably hour in the middle of the night, which like doesn't sound like that long, but you know, in the middle of the night, that feels like an eternity. And then apparently the cats also caught 2 mice in the living room this morning and then let them go. I cannot with the cats. Brandon, I guess, got both of them out of the house alive. He caught them and got them out. So they're no longer in the house. That's good. So that's where we're at. And hopefully today goes smoothly. As you can see, there's like beautiful sunshine coming into my landing right now. So let's hope that sticks around and it's not too brutally hot outside. It doesn't seem like it's going to be. It's just very humid. And we will have ourselves a good old garden day. Let's go. So here I am trying to get the fence up for this year, and let me tell you guys, this took way longer than I was anticipating because a bunch of the stakes that I had were broken from last year, so I was just kind of like trying to make do and still get them in the ground. So that's why they're all different heights, if you're wondering. But this fencing, I was wrestling it so much, just reconfiguring it, moving zip ties around, moving stakes to get it to fit properly. And it took the entirety of Teddy's nap. So you'll see in just a minute, this is just about as far as I got at this part of the day. All right, it's up. That took a really long time and I had to reconfigure a lot of the stakes, but this is the only part that I need to figure out. So this is the little doorway, which is different from how I've done it in the years past. But I think I'm just going to find something to kind of string across here just to keep the chickens out, because that's mostly what I'm worried about. But this is it otherwise. Looks good. The fence was short too because we squared this up a lot more this year. Like in years past, it's been a little like uneven on the edges, so it's smaller. And we really like straightened everything out this year, so it literally added like probably, I don't know, what would you guys say, 2 feet or so to it. So didn't account for that with the fencing, but that's okay. We have a lot of scraps in the garage of like wood and stuff, so I think I'll just try to find something I can make into a little mini door. So it's like just past 11 now, so Teddy should be waking up soon. So I think what I'll do is I'll take a break and then I'll come back to this later and do the actual planting later when he has his second nap, or just when he's playing out here in his little play area. That way I'm not trying to like rush and do it right now. I just feel like if I start this, I want to finish it all in the same setting, you know? But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I'll come back in a little bit. We made it. It's Sunday and it's 7:30 at night, and we are finally about to plant this garden. Finally. It's been a journey. This has been like 2 weeks worth of me filming and trying to get this garden done. And tonight is the night. The sun is out. It's been raining all day, so I did not get to do it this morning like I planned. Yesterday afternoon it rained like you saw, and by the time it stopped raining, I was exhausted. Just wanted to go to bed. So tonight's the night, and we are gonna just try to bust this out. I think Brandon might help me with a little bit of it. We'll see. I have probably about an hour of light, realistically. So that's what we're gonna do. Come along as we finally finish out the garden planting vlog for 2024. So this is my little book I made of all my seeds. It's just like a binder with like playing card pockets in it, and they fit these seed packets. Some of them I've had to kind of bend and fold, but that's okay. But I tried to organize kind of by section or just like seeds together. As you'll see, we're getting more into like flowers and herbs and stuff here, some fruit up there, and then on this last page I got some lavender. And I do also have some corn that I have to incorporate in here after, and then I have 2 packets of wildflowers, and I still have yet to figure out where I'm putting these. I was going to put them under our big lilac tree that we cleared out, but that is already growing a plethora of things, and we'd have to re-clear it. So don't know if we're going to do that or not. Otherwise, I need to find a different spot. I think maybe just the perimeter with these would be good. But this one's Save the Bees, so it attracts the bees. And then this one is Bring Home the Butterflies. So super cute. I love that. And there's looks to be a good variety in each one. So this is going to be kind of chaotic. I think I'm just going to like spread them, you know, in one spot and see what grows. So these were the new ones this year, and then everything else in this book I had from years prior. They're all just organized now. All right, you can barely tell, but everything's planted aside from the potatoes, which, let me show you, are going to go along here. You can see where I've already dug. And I'm actually planting pieces of russet that we already have at home. So I need to go cut those up right now and then get them planted. All I know is that you have to make sure it has an eye on it and it'll grow. So we're gonna try that. Last year I bought them in like a bag, but this year we're gonna just try to use the ones we have here. I have a lot of potatoes in the house, so why not? Everything else is planted. I am gonna be planting pumpkins and watermelon out along this perimeter, but not today. I'm gonna do it tomorrow because Brandon's gonna weed whack a section for me to do it so that we can like see and make sure they don't get mowed over. And we just added the little trellis over here, so this is gonna be for the cucumber plants when they grow, hopefully. I've had the worst luck with cucumbers in this garden, so we will see, but I want them to vine up along here. So in past years, they've been kind of like struggling on the ground with their vines, so I'm gonna try to get them to go up this year. Maybe that'll help. But I think that is going to do it. I didn't film a ton of the planting because, again, it's just like me putting seeds in dirt. I feel like that's not that interesting to watch, and it's really hard to see because there's like nothing here. It's hard for me like to keep track where I'm planting. Like I have to really make note of where I'm putting everything. But we are going to cross our fingers that things come up this year. We have a beautiful week ahead of us. It's going to be in the 70s and sunny every day, so great weather for germination. Not going to be a washout like last year, so that'll be good. The bar is literally on the floor, guys. Last year was horrible. If you guys were watching my channel, I didn't even really do an update until the end of the summer when we had some stuff, but I would say like 60% of the garden last year just nothing came of it. So crossing our fingers this year. I'm excited, but I'm also just like, you know, you always have like all that hope when you first do your planting, and then it's like, ooh, is it gonna take? Is it gonna go? I feel good. The soil looks good. Everything looks really good this year. So prayers for a warm and sunny summer, perfect growing weather, and not the monsoon that we had last year. So I'm gonna head in now because we are losing daylight. It is so nice out here though. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like homemaking, lifestyle type of stuff like this. I do not upload on any specific day or month or whatever. I kind of upload as I can in my busy season of life, but I'm so grateful for you all being here and sticking with me, even though I'm very sporadic. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.